Hey guys, how's it going? This is James here, and today we'll be benchmarking Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor on the GeForce GTX 860M. Now this graphics card is very underestimated, and when I did my Far Cry 4 benchmark, and if you haven't seen it, the link will be down in the description, a lot of people didn't even think that the graphics card could even boot the game, in which it succeeded very well on high and very high settings, maintaining 30 FPS average or more. Now there were some dips because it was an early version of the release of the game, and the performance patches weren't out yet. But with that out of the way, we're going to be testing this on all settings. So from low to ultra, and we're going to be cranking up the resolution past 1080p. And we're going to be figuring out is the minimum frame rates, average and maximum frame rates, as well as the maximum temperatures of the game while it is running. And the notebook that will be powering this during these tests is the ASUS Republic of Gamers GL551JM gaming notebook. Now, if you haven't seen my mini review that I did, that link will also be in the description as well, so make sure you guys check that out, and be tuned for a more in-depth review of the laptop, as I have had quite the time to actually sit down, use it, and enjoy it. And also, stay tuned if you haven't subscribed already, if you are subscribed, for an Evolve benchmark on this same graphics card. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the benchmark. Now if you saw some artifacts or tearing on the video, that was actually because of shadow play. When cranking up to the higher resolutions, I did notice that when reviewing the videos, there was some pretty bad skips and some blurring going on that couldn't help but be fixed. So I apologize for that in advance. Alright guys, that rounds up this benchmark video of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. This game is perfectly playable on every setting at 1080p. Even on Ultra, as long as you don't mind occasional dips into the high to mid 20s, but it's still perfectly playable. When you start cranking up the resolution to 150% and 200%, although everything looks completely beautiful and crisp, your frames are starting to get abysmal, as you saw here. The max temperatures never exceeded 78 degrees Celsius, and as you can see, this game runs great on the GeForce GTX 860M, and hopefully you guys will not underestimate it as much. Stay tuned for more benchmarks to come, guys, and if you found this video helpful, please be sure to leave it a like and subscribe for more. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.